Hello everyone and welcome to this video. Today I want to talk about all the books and the authors I'm not interested in reading. So this is basically the anti-TBR tag created by Nicole and her books. I'm gonna link her original video down below. But there are 8 questions in this tag, so let's just start with the first one. A popular book everyone loves that you have no interest in reading. And for this, I kind of consider this reading, and maybe I have started it a little bit, and I just like, this is really not for me. But it is The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. So everyone seems to love this book, everyone who read it. I've only seen rave reviews. So I don't know why this is not for me. I just feel that like when I started it, it was just like really, I was really not interested in how it went and the themes and such, because basically this is a horror book, and I've seen some reviews which say that it can get pretty gruesome, so I don't think that is really for me. I do want to get into horror because every time I read a mystery thriller or a mystery book and there's like hints of maybe is there a ghost or isn't there a ghost, I'm always disappointed when there isn't a ghost. So yeah, but I don't know. I'm just really not interested in reading this one at the moment. The second question is a classic book or author you don't have an interest in reading. I'm gonna go with an author here, and I'm gonna say Shakespeare. I just have no interest whatsoever in his books, in his plays, anything basically. I just really don't care. It could not be more further removed from me. It's just no. Maybe it's also because if I would read it in English, it would be really hard for me to understand because of the language. But I just really don't care. Basically, that's all. I really like classics and I'm interested in reading a lot of classics. I wouldn't say they're classics I really don't want to read, but when we go all the way back to Shakespeare, maybe that's where I'm like losing my interest basically. So, question number 3. A problematic author whose books you have no interest in reading. Now, after I started seeing this series on HBO, H.P. Lovecraft series, I don't know what it's called at the moment, it's missing from my brain. Anyway, I maybe thought that this could be an author for me because his concepts seemed interesting, the world building, the characters, but then I found out that he was basically a white supremacist, and I've just seen all over the place that he's one of the most problematic ones out there, so I was like, pass. Question number 4. An author you have read a couple of books from and have decided their books are not for you. Okay. I think I have written a couple here, 4 here on my list, and there are probably more than this. But for example, I have Haruki Murakami. I think I have read 2 of his books, and it's always like, what is going on? It's like, this is beyond my understanding. It's not. These books are not written for my type of brain, or I don't know. It's just too far removed from me. The way his brain works and my brain, we are like complete parallels, I would say. There's no crossing whatsoever. Then I have read Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett, and he writes these huge historical fiction novels and series, and Pillars of the Earth is one of those books and series everyone knows. Even if people are normally not into reading, they know who Ken Follett is and they know of his books. I just read the Pillars of the Earth, and then I have to say, this was written maybe like 20, 30 years ago, I'm not sure, and there's just some elements of it which didn't age as well, and I really didn't like the way he portrayed women particularly. So I'm like, there's so many other good historical fiction out there. I'm not gonna bother with his books basically. And I know he has a new one out, but correct me if I'm wrong. Have you read his newest book? How is it? Is it worth the read? Because from what I've seen in Pillars of the Earth, I just don't think he's for me. Then I have two more authors here, and they're both quite well known in the bookish world and maybe also outside of it. So basically I have Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have read both The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I've also read Daisy Jones and the Six. And there's just something about these books where I'm like, it's fine. I just don't feel there's anything special, and I basically don't understand what the hype is. I just could not really connect. I think I liked The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo better, but like reading about a fictional band and going on tour and just arguing and different issues within the band is like, what is the point if this is not even a real band? I mean, yeah, so basically I just really don't think Taylor Jenkins Reid is for me. And I know that she has written more books prior to these two, which are not as popular. So I thought maybe I'm gonna try those and see, but let's see what the newest one will be. And then maybe I'll decide then. But basically, just 80% no, I would say. Then I have Emily St. John Mandel, Station 11, which is, I think, one of the most popular books on BookTube, and I just really don't get it. I think I'm just used to more fantasy, dystopian, action, plot-driven, and this was not it. This was more like, yes, a dystopian literary fiction, and I just did not connect to it in the same way as other people seem to connect to it. So, next question. A genre you have no interest in, or a genre you tried to get into and couldn't. And speaking of Haruki Murakami, I would say magical realism. I think this is really not something for me. As I say, I mean, we're just on a complete different opposites when it comes to fantasy and writing, and just no, this is not for me at all. I tried many magical realism books, and it's just every time there's just something missing, so they're just basically not for me. Question number 6. A book you have bought but will never read. Well, I don't know if I have a book I have bought I don't want to read, basically. Maybe one that I will lose interest in with time, but all the books I bought I want to read. I'm also very careful when buying books, and I'm buying only the books I'm really interested in. So no, basically, I don't know. I don't think I have any. Next, a series you have no interest in reading, or a series you started and have DNFed. Well, I'm the biggest fan of Game of Thrones, and I have started the first book, and I think I read a couple of chapters, and then I saw that it was very much like the series and decided not to continue. I just think I would rather rewatch the series, maybe minus season 7, because that... yeah, let's not go there. But basically, A Song of Ice and Fire. And then I'm a big fan of fantasy, but I don't think I will ever read Terry Pratchett's Discworld series. And then the last question is a new release you have no interest in reading. The first one is A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. Do we need a spin-off of what happened and President Snow? I don't think so. And all the mixed reviews out there, I just don't care. I just don't care about it. I just don't think this was necessary at all. Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. Again, why? We are so over this by now, and we don't need another book in this series. I don't think so. So I really couldn't care less about reading this, even though I was a fan of the Twilight Saga back in the day. I remember binge reading them, but another book now, 2020, no, not for me. One that really got mixed reviews, and I feel that everyone has read it, and I think this is the debut, A Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. I think I was interested in this for a split second until all the mixed reviews started coming in on BookTube, and I was like, no, I don't feel like it, even though the cover is great and the premise sounds amazing, but everyone says that they kind of got disappointed and they really didn't get what they expected to get out of this. So I don't think I would be interested. So yeah. a lot of popular books and a lot of 2020 releases on this list. So I think this year I kind of realized that all the hype new books are getting is just brilliant advertising and marketing, and well done for the team who did such a great marketing for some of these books. I'm starting to understand a bit better my reading tastes, and I'm starting to be better at picking books that I know I will enjoy. I also DNFed a lot more books this year. Maybe I'll do a separate video on those, but basically I don't want to spend my time on books that I know from the start I'm not gonna enjoy, and especially the ones mentioned in this last question. So let me know if you have any new releases or any books that you really don't want to read because of some reason or other. I think sometimes you all get trapped by the marketing engine or whatnot and all the hype, but we have to be careful what we pick up because there's so many other books out there, and I would rather find some hidden gems no one is talking about than picking up books you already know got a lot of mixed reviews. So even though you can get surprised. Yeah, this is, I guess, it for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.